Hi, Jill. Hi, this is Lana Story. Um, I am attempting to come into your Zoom. I don't, I thinking maybe I had to do something different because I'm just not doing these things. Catherine? Okay, it's Catherine. Okay, now it says St. Lawrence Agency up there beside her. Now I see you. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, that's because I'm talking to you on the phone. So I don't know. Hold on 2 seconds. Talk. I'm going to cover up the phone talk. No, but I can only hear you through my phone. I can just leave the phone laying out. That's fine. I've got it up to 100.
Okay, now I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Right.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
It's here somewhere pretty quick.
Back to signing the bills again?
Okay, so there we go. All right, I'm gonna mute, okay?
Okay.
They go what? Oh, cool.
So she put it on mute. It's working. She told me it's working and because I didn't like that, it was working fine. I could see him, and then I couldn't hear her at all. And she did it. So she's got, see it saying us and this person and her are all. That's not, see, that's not how what's it name worked at all. Remember the night we were doing it?
Yep.
It wasn't like that at all. I brought it all out. You want the clip off it? Do you want this off or?
Yeah, right now I do. Keep it together.
You want it on there? You mean?
Never mind, I'll have to put it up here like this.
I can put it back together.
Oh, that's all right.
I can put it up here and then you can flip it. That Frank? That's Frank, isn't it? No, I don't know. Ooh, Frank. Yeah, Kelly thinks nothing of them because she does them all the time, but I don't even know how to get into them. Just not my cup of tea, one.
Huh?
It's just not my cup of tea. I don't want to be there either. I just don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be
This is an
sitting.
open meeting, yeah. Not just an organization meeting.
No, it's an actual, because it's the next full week, it's an actual meeting. Isn't that Frank right there?
Yeah.
There's Dave.
There's gotta be Sean. All they- Where's our friend?
This person right there might be the guy that comes in that Dean is maybe. Huh. Ooh. You know, the ones that we used to ensure the father had the garage down to Briar Hill. She looks like one of them, one of the daughters. They kind of, I think that's who that is.
Or that was when,
I don't know. I don't know who this is.
so,
Then who's that? And then there's that and that. There's only four of them.
Yeah.
The organizational meeting is called to order. We'll have the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The oath of office is authentically taken, as noted on here, by all those who have taken. You will see the positions, the appointments. Anyone need me to read those off?
With all due respect, I would like you to read those out,
Okay.
if it's not like all night long.
Well, there's only one. So appointments, Christopher Coffin, Deputy Supervisor, Register of Vital Statistic, Jill Sullivan. Court Clerk Bookkeeper, Carol Woodcock, Cemetery Secretary, Carol Woodcock, Bookkeeper Court Clerk, Judy Wright. First Deputy Clerk, Patricia Reagan, Second Deputy Clerk, Deborah Pinger. Secretary of BR and ZBA Planning, Jill Sullivan. Record Management Officer, Jill Sullivan. Soil Officer, Jill Sullivan. Dog Control Officer, Dan Moyer. Historian, Joanne Marcelletta. Town Attorney, Sylvan Collins. And now we move down to positions, Assessor. And you want me to read when the terms is up?
No, just the names.
James Snyder, Assessor, Board of Assessment Review, Sean Jenkins, James Kelly, Jim Bogardus, Planning Board, Ryan Demick, Jane Fay, Jill Martin, Barbara Whitman, Daryl Merkel. ZBA, Michael Durkey, Peter Fitz Randolph, Alan Langstree, Janet Newtown, and Clara Warren, which we will have, yes. Which is a new appointment to replace for me. That's the list item.
Thank you.
The procurement policy is listed here. I don't believe there's anything changed from last year, Jill.
No.
Same. Care service agreement. It's authorized by the highway superintendent, enter into the shared service agreement with other entities as needed. Second, notice fee. Goes there, the tax bill, $2. Monthly meeting date will remain the second Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. The DAR reimbursement rate for the DAR is $250 per member. Official newspaper designated the Watertown Times as the official town newspaper. Designate North Country this week as the second official town newspaper. The official bank designated the Citizen National Bank of Hannah as town's official bank. Authorization to pay bills, authorize the payment of town bills prior to monthly meeting is as needed. Mileage rate at 67 cents per mile. Per diem of established board policy GSA rates. School tax collection permission, permit the town clerk to contact the school district to collect school taxes for 2024. Notice of highway defects, reaffirmation of local law number 1 of 2009. Official undertakings, all undertakings have been signed. And that is, yeah, so that's the items on the reorganization meeting. We need a motion on.
Yeah.
We need one motion.
I'll make a motion for that.
Do we have a second?
Appointments. No, sorry.
We've heard the motion, we have a first and a second, roll call, please.
David,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Chris
Aye.
and Frank.
Aye. Motion to adjourn and then into the regular town board meeting.
So moved.
The meeting is closed. We'll now open the January meeting of the town of Morristown. We need approval of minutes from December 12th regular meeting and December 28th special board meeting minutes. They should be in the packet. Do we have had an opportunity to review them? If so, there were any corrections?
Make a motion to approve.
Do you have a second? Motion was made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries. We now move into correspondence. There's a letter regarding FEMA grant.
I was puzzled by that letter. I didn't recognize the project. Is that the dock?
Yeah, yeah, it was the dock project and the sidewalk around the front.
Yep.
And I think some of it, the extension was the tile, wasn't it?
Yeah, the sheet piling on the left.
And the total in the letter was the total cost of that whole project.
Well, it was well over what we got awarded the grant for.
Yes.
I don't know the number, but the town put in the extra for it, so.
I think the total project, because we ended up doing 180, I think 180 something, I think that's when we ended up being completed at.
So we paid that already, there's reimbursements? 135 of that 180.
I think.
It's a closeout. I don't know if we've been reimbursed because this was started back when it was in the village. That's why I don't really know.
I think we had, I remember something about doing that, or we're gonna have to pay it back, finish the project or
Yeah,
something.
it's to prove that we spent
Oh,
the
that's what it
money.
is.
And
That's what it
then
was.
we had to report that to them that we closed out and that's been an ongoing process. So, and it's still going on. It's got,
Anything with people.
just did again they just sent me another quarterly report and asked. If, and it's like, I thought it was just a mistake. And then the lady called me, she says, well, for the next year, probably, you have to keep doing a quarterly report on it. And I'm like, all right. And I said, what do I put? And she said, basically, put that the project goes out. Like, okay.
And then it says
Yeah.
there.
Close
the project.
Yeah, the second piece of correspondence is from Pamela Lynch regarding sewer. Everyone should have a copy of that in the packet.
I think Katie is on with us.
Do you have a copy, Katie, and you want to read it?
I don't have a copy with me here. It's at camp, sorry.
All right, well,
And I hand wrote it, so I don't have it typed.
everyone has it in their packet to review. It'll take a few minutes to read it.
I would think that they would have gotten the packets like a week in advance.
Yes, they were.
Sorry, I was just,
Yeah, this wasn't in the packet. I didn't see
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. it was on there.
So Dean, what it says is the village did not, town did not use proper drain pipe in place of the direction of sewer. That's not ours, is it?
Yeah, I mean, this was way before anyway. I have no idea. So apparently, years like when I dug up this whole, when the project started, they did the sewer pot she is referring to. It came off from down Linden Street, across the street to the pot where it ended. It always froze under the road, like the first year, they tried everything, it didn't work. So they disconnected it from her camp house, whatever's right there, and ran down over the hill. Connected to the other house and then ran down to the sewer pot out front. It wasn't scheduled 40, I don't know what was in the specs, if that was scheduled 40, I don't know, even know who did that. So, but.
Who installed the pipe? Wasn't
Uh,
the ones that leaves the house.
right, there is one to the pot. But I don't know because it was so new in the project, if it was, you know, up to the engineers and the clerk of works and the village or the town at the time came back and made a correction, I don't know.
Is Kevin know anything?
No, Kevin said it was done even before he was here.
Would have been done back in like 93, when it first, probably, wasn't that when?
Yeah, he said whatever the project was done, like the
About
first year.
92 or 3.
Can I give you a little background on this? This has been,
He knows it very well.
I'm the neighbor next door, George Coswell, I live on 17 Lime Street.
You look familiar.
Yeah, for some reason. Anyway, what happened was it closed, just like we said. So what they did was, they run it, the town came and dug a ditch on the other side of the concrete septic tank and hooked on and took it down in front of our other camp and hooked into the line going to the camp. So there's two properties here, there are two buildings, not two buildings. So, okay, that worked. The only thing was in the summertime, you got sewer smell was coming from the concrete vault. Because it wasn't enough dirt or whatever. So the town come and dug up the concrete septic tank and took it out, and then they hooked the lines from where it came out of the house and ran it down through and did away with the concrete septic tank. So that went away, and that did away with the smell. That much I know because I've been there for 37 years.
Why was the concrete tank there to begin with? That's been
Well, this was before we had the sewer. Okay, this concrete tank was put in before we had the sewer.
Was done a long time ago.
There you go, long time ago.
The main problem is that there's too many 90-degree twists because now there's two sewers. They've always been connected. It's been connected to the camp. So even if I wanted to sell the back property, how could I do that? Because they're both connected to the same one. And the other thing is that the white camp comes down the hill, and instead of going straight down the hill into the pot by George Kosler's, it takes a left 90 degrees right in front of the big camp, and then takes a right down the steps, another left 90 degrees, and then another right 90 degrees. So there's like 4 90-degree, PVC connectors. And Dean, you saw it.
Yep.
That is you, right, Dean?
Yes, yeah, we are.
And it's only like 4 to 8 inches below the ground.
Is there any more? Is that as deep as the soil is there, Dean?
I mean, I think it's deeper, but I mean, it's getting the pitch to work out the way they did it. I mean, it's been like this for 20 years. Just this year that it broke and failed for the first time. Georgia dug it. We did spend a few hours there ourselves trying to camera it, and we did find where it came apart in one spot, and that's where the plug was. So Georgia changed everything to Schedule 40. And I mean, it's not the only place that goes into, there's shared sewer pots on both districts. You still get charged, it's just, it goes into one pot. It's gravity to the sewer pot, then it goes to vacuum, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But both candy canes are connected to one. And it doesn't bother me that they go to the same sewer pot. What I don't understand is why didn't they go straight down the hill? Why did they go in front of the big camp when they didn't have to? They could have gotten.
Labor intense. There's a big stone wall there.
Obviously we're guessing, but it looks like you've asked for a FOIL request on this. Is that what I understand?
Well, number one, I'm asking for the pot that's next to my well to be removed.
He's asking if you asked for a FOIL request, which you did.
Yes, but first I'm asking for the pot to be removed.
There was a question by one of the other board members about your request near the end of the letter. That's why I was addressing that first. And I told him that I was explaining that you did put a FOIL request in for that information. So, okay, now we're back up to the other request.
Well, request number one is to remove the pot. That's my main objective here. It's not functional, never has been. It's too close to the well, even though it's encased. I want it gone. Please.
What are the repercussions of this? Yeah, I was involved in getting that,
Just digging it up and then, the guys did test it. There is still vacuum to it. Or actually still with a valve there. So we capped it when we tested for vacuum. So I think we have to come, I would say come back across the road, so we don't have vacuum under the road, go over by like Vices, cap the vacuum, the 4 inch that goes over there. Just, there's no more vacuum on that way. Vices will be the last one, but there's no real, that's the only place that goes, but, I don't see a problem taking it out. I mean, I told her, you know, we had discussed it late in the fall, it'd probably be a spring project to get it out of there.
yeah, I don't see them using it, we have to have it.
Yeah.
I believe that it appears that consensus is we will address this in the spring, Katie.
You will address it or you agree to
We
it?
will address it by rerouting in the spring.
No, removing.
Removing.
So we're coming back to another board meeting for you to okay it?
No,
No,
we're okay and now.
we're okaying it now, but want to alert you that it will not happen till next spring.
No, that's great. That's fine. I just, Dean told me I needed to write a letter and I wrote it.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, thank you. You don't need to put that in the form of a motion.
You probably should.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we remove sewer pot at 13 Minor Street was not used anymore. I'll second that motion. Roll call.
David,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye. The motion's carried.
Paying for that pot now? Is that what the deal is?
She still pays for it, yes, because she's still using the cot down there, so, yeah. Yeah, she basically still has 2 charges on her.
Right.
Okay.
With that, we'll move on to public comment, and we have Joe is not with us this evening. The St. Lawrence Agency is on Zoom with us. So everyone should have in their packet. Should have the folder that was supplied to us by the St. Lawrence Agency.
it's under new business.
Lana, did you want to walk us through that? What is your suggestion?
Did we mute them?
I asked them to unmute.
Hello?
Lynn, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
I don't know why it said to unmute, again, but okay. Go ahead, start over again, Wayne.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Did you want to walk us through that? Is that what you suggest?
Just tell him what you're going to do. That's what he wants to know.
Okay. Frank, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I want to thank you guys for letting us in there. Come in and talk to you about this quote. And I want you also to know that I'm sure it caused as much spark in the place as it did with us when I saw that new premium. So anyway, we're going to start tonight with Lana reading you the reason for a lot of this cost increase.
I think, Frank, I don't know which copies you have, but at the very bottom where it says the total proposal premium, that is why the different changes in it.
That's what they've all got it.
Do you all have it out now or not?
Yes.
Okay, so there, to start with, they lowered the building limit due to the loss. Then they added this year to the building and business property section. Then they added new to the vehicle section. They added new to the inland marine section and deleted a piece of equipment. There was also a 9% increase inflation for building and business property. That was across the board to everyone. And due to the loss over a million, 1.8 million was also the cause for the increase in premium. So if you want to go back to that very first page of what you have. Are y'all back there?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I have broke out where all the costs went to, and then we'll stop there and ask questions. The building and contents is $8,457. And of that, $5,213 is your builder's risk. Your builder's risk is ungodly high. And as soon as that building is done, be sure to tell us, because we're going to cancel that builder's risk and add it to your regular building, which is going to save you a lot of money, because the price for builder's risk is at least double or triple what the standard building is without the builder's risk. The boiler insurance is $596. The inland marine was $23.76. Your auto was $1,083. Paid $12,462. And that's one part of the cost. So now we go down to the, want to stop there for a minute and ask questions?
questions here from anybody?
You'll see on the first page of the second number, the town garage only has 100,000 on it now. And that's because you got the new building going to it for $1,300,000.
That makes sense.
So when the building's done, that'll go over to the price of the building.
So on 100,000, I had to prove that we had 100,000 into what was left of the structure after the loss. So I
Right.
took it down to them, show them what, like Larry Morley's bill, what we put into our own work. And that's where we came up with that 100,000 number. So that's what they would insure at this point until we get the other building completed.
Right, and then you have that builder's risk for $1,300,000. So everybody all set with that part of it?
It appears that way.
Keep going.
Okay, after that, we go down into the co-insurance is 100%. Your deductible is $1,000, and your earthquake is a million, and your flood insurance is 25,000. That's pretty standard. Okay, and there's no questions here. We'll go to general liability. All of those numbers of $1 million, $2 million are increased by your blanket or by your catastrophic insurance by $2 million per occurrence and $4 million aggregate. So all these numbers I'm going to tell you, know that they're covered by double what's out there. So they're all pretty much the same, $1 million down through fire label, medical payments, and deductible employees $1,000. Any questions on the general liability?
It appears not.
Okay, the municipal crime coverage that you have on is 175,000 and $100 deductible. You don't do it for that. Money orders and counterfeit money 50,000. Your owners and contractors protective. That is for something we have to send proof to the county every year that you have insurance for them, so you could they can plow your roads, or you can plow their roads. Public officials, that's very important, you guys, and that covers you. That's your individual coverage. So that's again double with the umbrella.
Page.
Where are we now?
On the next page,
Excess with the water machinery, that has to be the same as on your buildings, because that's what it's part of. It's part of your, not just water and machinery, it covers all your other equipment in there. And now we go down to the commercial auto, and I'm gonna let Lana take over there.
we're gonna look at this then. So you're live, if you're under the commercial auto, it's just kind of like the rest of it. It's $1 million. And then personal injury property is 50,000. The OBLE is 25,000 and the supplemental uninsured is $1 million. Non-ownership liability is $1 million, hired auto liability is $1 million, and then the mutual aid is $1 million. And then you go down to the vehicle schedule, and the only difference there was there was a 2010 international dump that was put on. So that increased that, because if you go back up to these, a lot of this she had, you know, by the increases of it. And especially here in the vehicle schedule. And once she comes down into that inland marine, that's the second thing where it says inland marine. There, for that 2010 international dump comes in with a 46,866. So the premium in that area last year was $9,806, some odd cents. This year, that premium just, or that premium, just that part of it is $12,183. So that part's up 2376 right there. The miscellaneous equipment and tools, you've got 45,000 on that, and miscellaneous recreation sports equipment, there's 15,000 on it, 500 on any one item. So it's just, you can raise that whatever you want anytime, but, and then the next part is the contractor's equipment. And I think that's, yeah, and that's gonna flip over onto that next page, which is the last page.
Yeah, one thing on the vehicle schedule, isn't it 2006 that's on there, the one at Burnt Bean?
Yes, that one was supposed to be taken off. I told
Wait,
Sean.
hold on, back up, because it was an echo. What'd you say, Dean?
The inland marine or the vehicle schedule, the 2006 is the one that burnt, that is gone.
Okay, that 2000, right above the 2010, the new thing, so the 2000
Yes.
international,
No, keep going up,
No,
2006.
Right here, above the.
it is a 2006.
2006. Where she's at, inland marine.
The one that's for 123,000,
Yes,
so it's right above that 210, on the, it's right above that 210, 2006 international, 123, 430, 443, that should come off, right?
yes, correct.
So that was part of the fire.
Yes.
Okay, just so I can, so Shauna will, you know, anything else there that,
Nope, the rest looks.
I'm sorry, look, my throat's just not there. Okay, so if we turn the page and go over, as you can see, there's a couple new items in there. Tango, I don't know if they pronounce it that way, Tango, then she's got Tango plow, there's two new things there at 5,000 each. Down a little bit further, there's a 2018 Caterpillar dozer and a 2023 Doosan dozer. So again, that's gonna make things change a little bit. That's where your difference in premium are gonna come. Because I think Wayne has an actual, what, did you wanna read that to him, or did you? Okay, that part that he did all beforehand, when he was going through all of it, that kind of comes down to, because roughly these two numbers at the bottom where you see 23 and 24, excuse me, it's about a 12,919 increase. But when you go back through all the different spots where there are increases, you see where that all comes up and, you know, brings that cost up. Because as I said, in back when I first came in, those last things, I have on a different policy. So is there any other questions? Wayne has, I guess, a few things to say still, but.
So the premium will be adjusted once you take that one item out that we talked about, right? The
Builders.
yeah.
It will, but have you guys paid the bill or you haven't paid the bill?
Good question.
I haven't seen that in the
I
bill.
don't remember.
Go for what?
Insurance.
It came with all the, in fact, I'm not sure. I don't know if it went, because Frank's was a different thing. I
It's
don't know.
here it is in my folder, yes. So you haven't paid. It's right here.
Okay,
What's that?
so before, okay,
Well,
so
we
you
talked
have,
about keeping them, getting rid of them, I don't know.
Just.
okay, you haven't paid for it yet, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let me ask Shauna tomorrow. I'm pretty sure what she's going to say to me is, you've got to pay that bill, then she's gonna have to put in that. Because then she's gonna have to put in that part to take that one thing off, and they will adjust and come back to you with a refund.
Okay,
Pretty sure. I will double check with her to make sure, and I will let you know tomorrow. Is that okay?
Frank, the same is true for your builder's risk. Be sure to tell us about it when it's done, because you'll get a credit back for the amount that's not used. And then it will go on the regular policy and the regular building, where the builder's risk, it's going to save you, I don't know how many dollars, but it'll be quite a few.
so noted.
And the other thing I want to mention to you, because it's important to us anyway, and I think it is to you, that if we had not been insured with Nymer, we'd be looking for a new company today. And I've been through that a few times, and it's not nice. We've been with Hartford, with you guys. We had to go to a company in Texas to find you at one time. So that's how Nymer got started, because the people that are in the municipal building or municipal business started up their own organization, which is Nymer. And that's why they are staying with you. There's no question about it. And we are out looking for a new company now.
I mean, Nymer is?
No,
Oh, we aren't, okay, I didn't hear.
you, as in St.
Yeah.
Lawrence BBC and you guys
Yeah,
in Morestone, yeah.
okay. Any other questions by any of the board members? I think that you walked us through this well and we understand, and so I will handle this, hand the statement off to Jill, so keep in
Okay.
into the proper hands, and we will address this.
All right, thank
And
you.
understand, Frank, as far as that premium on that builder's risk, that's a high premium, but builder's risk are high, and that's for $1.3 million. So it'll just go with what's on the other building now when we're done with it. So be sure to tell me so I can get that out of there and credit back to you.
We will.
Okay.
We're a few days away from that yet. We're making progress.
Okay, if you guys have any questions any other time you want something
Thanks for
answered,
the business,
call.
guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for your time today.
no problem. Anytime you got questions, just give us a call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we will move out of public comment into old business financial report. A little information on that. Gentlemen, have you seen the interest income figure in the financial statement? It's around $62,000 for last year. And so I think that the tip of the hat to Citizens National Bank for paying 4%. Within a few days, we will finish the first 12 months. So we'll need to renew the CDs, and we have a couple of choices available in terms of rate. The rates that would be available for the next 12 months would be, if we sign up for the whole 12 months with a commitment, 4.75%, or we could sign up for 6 months at 5%. But at the end of 6 months, then we'd go back to them and they would take a look at the market. And if it's down, the rate would be lower than 5%. And
For 1/4%, I don't think it's 4.75 or 5.
yeah, those are the choices. Stay over 12 months. That was our feeling in our discussion, that we would do that, because didn't they also say you could be flirting with going down after the 6 months? Oh, absolutely. There's talk right now of when will the Fed lower the rates.
Yeah, other people that
And go on in the court. Lock it in for 12 months. Yeah. That also suits really our competence as managers, because we don't have a financial controller, anybody like that watching
you know, just
Right.
do a lot of nitpicking to try to maximize interest. So if we commit to a 12-month rate, 4 3/4% would be pretty good.
Yeah.
And at that, the existing CDs would produce something over $70,000 in the next 12 months. And in the past, we've talked about transferring more money into CDs, not of operations. And we have not done that. This again is what happens when Frank and I end up being the managers of the money from week to week. We look at it every 12 months. And we can transfer more money. And I'm proposing that we do it. I have talked with Shalene and she said, you know, you put more money in, Chris, and then you can just take it back out again if you need to take it out again, if you need them.
I have not heard, I've not had contact from her. Didn't she mention she wanted she needed copies and a signatures from me?
There's a document that she needs back from you that would change the amount of insurance that they have. Because the bank needs to maintain insurance on our deposits adequate to cover our total amount. And you know, the FDIC insurance coverage is only $250,000. So we don't want the town's funds in excess of that to go bad in the totally unlikely circumstance that Citizens National fails. And that's what's at issue here. If they need to maintain enough coverage.
I understand. She was contacting me.
Yes, she will contact you. And if I think that we could transfer enough so that we would generate almost 50% again interest on the current number. And
One more money.
yeah,
One more.
almost another million. And I think that is really just a remarkable amount of money
The great part of that is,
generated with interest.
yeah, there's no penalty.
That's right. Yeah. So a couple of other financial issues. I am in the process of bringing together, and I hope to bring it to you in February, a proposed policy on financial reserves. Identifying the reasons why we have financial reserves and the kinds of things that I think are on the table that are really discretionary. We're trying to maintain adequate financial reserves to cover, for instance, a rainy day. You know, should we have a recession and sales tax receipts went down, what are we going to do? You know, if we don't want to cut town services and the revenue goes down. So having a backlog of funds to cover possible recession is one of the issues. And then with the town barn, this is a very clear explanation, very clear illustration of why it's nice to have the adequate reserves so that we are able to buy the dozer when we need the dozer. We a loader, we are able to go ahead with the work, getting the foundation in place. You know, even if the insurance company had not sent us the checks immediately, we could have done the work. So that sort of thing is a good reason to have financial reserves. But among the other ones that are on our list, we've had capacity to replace one truck. That's one of our agenda items. And I don't know whether we need, given the town's greater responsibility with the dissolved village, whether we need the capacity to replace 2 trucks or 2 trucks and something else. You know, do we need a little bit of equipment reserve? And one of the items that's on it's been on the table off and on since the village dissolved is addressing a consolidation of offices or replacement of offices, something of that nature. And it would be entirely appropriate from, let's say, the state's point of view, the controller who reviews these policy statements, It would make a lot of sense to a controller if we said we are building a reserve toward the capacity to do something about a new municipal building. And it doesn't, if we don't set up a dedicated reserve fund, it doesn't mean we can't change our mind later. But that's a plausible reason. These are things I'll bring before you. We try to make some decisions on in February.
Because there is a remote chance that they could say you have too much.
Yeah, I read the audit reviews and comments the controller's office sends out. And I wonder, do any of you gentlemen, do you look at them? I think, I'm not surprised. This is amusement for me. But there are notices periodically. Let's say Town of New Orleans gets audited. Well, I look at it. Why? What were they doing? You know, can I figure out what prompted them to do the audit? Because they haven't done an audit here for 25, 30 years. And I think that I would tip my hat to Carol Woodcock. She files the AUDs promptly, and they make sense. And besides that, when I was off the board for about 6 years, you guys raised the tax rate.
We lowered it, so
Did you?
we lowered it 1 point, that's why
Yeah.
I had been.
Yeah, when I was on the board.
You're a little too.
So
drastic.
anyway, it got cut too thin, and so we weren't building reserves, we were leasing trucks instead of buying them. So anyway, when you look at the controller's audits, frequently, what they're looking at is some sort of either mistake or misbehavior. But sometimes they're going to a town and they're saying, gentlemen, you have, or folks, you have so much money in reserves that it amounts to, let's say, 2.5 years budget. And there is no reason why people today should be paying taxes at that rate when the benefit is going to come perhaps 10 years or 20 years later. So you ought to disperse some of your fund balance and lower the tax rate for 10 years or 5 years. So, well, I think that we need to be thoughtful about that sort of direction, because it's not garbage. It's a strange idea, but it's not garbage. And we need to either have a reason why we're accumulating fund balance, or lower the taxes. You know,
I
that
think
would
we
be,
should lower the tax rate. The assessment keeps going way up, up, up. The tax rate never comes down. We're county people of taxes.
yeah,
But with all due respect, the town tax rate has stayed within a penny for quite a few years.
that's right.
It hasn't changed, no.
The county, and then the count, I've had a conversation with Joe. Can I do this?
Yes,
Can I had a conversation with Joe Lightfoot, who, the county tax rate is the lowest it's been in like over 20 years. It's $7.15. But if you look at ours, so I sent an email out to like 70 people talking about, it's got to do with the equalization and the fact that we're taxed at like 86%, I think, this year versus 93 last year. There's only the city of Ogdensburg and 2 other towns that have 100% valuation. And that's what's kicking our butt. And the fire district had to buy that $60,000 I'll call it a lift assist.
Power structure.
Yes, but they needed that, and but the town tax rate, I think, has been stable for quite a few years, within a penny.
yeah,
I believe we've got one of the lowest tax rates in the county as far as the town tax rate, Judy. Not the county and the fire district and everything else. Yeah, the town itself is not bad. My opinion, sorry, my opinion.
No, and I would like to address it by getting that equalization rate closer.
That is, That's a tricky one, but then if you pay, like, the city of Ogdensburg paid like 24,000 to have all the properties reevaluated, and so they're 100%, but then your tax rates are gonna quit. You're gonna pay here, you're gonna pay there.
The way I understand equalization is that the town budget is what it is, you know, let's say it is what it is. It just gets distributed based on,
It's
The
got to
tax
do with
rate.
the county tax, and like our county tax rate is $8, it's up 14 cents from last year. And it's not the same, if you look at the county, St. Lawrence County website. And look at all the towns and villages in the county, including the city of Ogdensburg is on there now. You'll see that all the county tax rates are different, it's got to do with how the state makes you do the equalization. It's anyway.
well, the impact of having property values really go up as they have over the past 20 years, without having the assessments go up, is that in fact, our effective tax rate has dropped, even though it stayed at 364, because we're not taxing the current values at 364.
You're assessing 86%.
Yes,
Is it 86? Yeah,
86 is good.
86% of my value.
So in a sense, we have lowered the town tax rate over the past 10 years by not keeping up with
100%
increasing.
value.
Yeah. But this is just arcane stuff that
It really is.
doesn't particularly inform our financial statement. And I think unless you had any questions, gentlemen, that wraps up my report.
Thank you, Chris. You have in your packet the bank monthly report review. Item number 3 on old business is surplus property update, and would you take the floor on that? You and I have been going in, I asked you for some questions and you've answered, and I'd like you to share that with the board.
Okay. Well, I printed off the map of the property that you are looking at, so this is for you to take home and study and be quiz next month on that. You're gonna lose that. Because I don't have any data. That's right. So,
There's no place
starting to run out of paper.
No. Matter.
So, Frank asked me to look at this and, you know, you guys talked about potentially selling off the large chunk of land that is behind us over here. And, you know, I said, I brought to Frank's attention, I think that, you know, you're gonna need to have this thing surveyed if you're seriously thinking about selling it off, because there's a lot of little dodges around that go over to Northumberland. And you'll see it doesn't even show Bay Street. The tax map isn't updated to even show the Bay Street where it runs in here. So where you'll see on this, on these on Bay is right. So you'll see some of these ones in here that don't even show our water. The parcel we've never chunked off where our sewer building is.
Yeah,
Out of this parcel.
we discovered that today.
And then, you know, if you're talking about future expansion of that or any expansion of it, you know, I think you need to consider leaving some, taking some out of that 126 acres and leaving it for that. So, you know, basically I printed the map off so you can see the whole thing and decide, you know, where you want to draw a line on it. But I think a surveyor is going to be the guy that's going to draw the line for you. It's going to make the most sense out of it.
Then I asked you about whether we would offer this one parcel or more than one.
Right. So it's a large chunk of land, you know, would the town be better served splitting it up like we did with the other parcels, offering some, maybe some 30-acre pieces or something of that nature. And you know, maybe you could get a little more market on it, than just throwing it out there and saying, somebody give us some money for the whole parcel. But and quite honestly, you might serve the public guy. There might be residences that are interested in some of this, that, you know, don't want 100 acres of land, but they'd like a little bit more. So, you know, that's something to think about. You'll also see on the map, I think, it didn't print well, but over on where it comes down to 37, it did not print. But there's, you can see in real small print, there's a 25-foot, and then we looked at this and discovered this when we were talking about actually potentially having a building over there, right? But right in here, there's a 25-foot right of way that butts onto the state highway 37 and 12, well, over onto 37. You see that maybe? Right here. So there's a 25-foot right of way to do that whole thing. So in the event that you wanted to split it up some, where is where 25-foot right away here? No, right here, right along this whole thing right here. Okay. So in the event that you wanted to split this up to do that, you know, you could create actually a bigger right of way that would give everybody access to the property, so we don't worry about landlocking something. And potentially, if it were like a 50-foot right of way, that would give enough so that if somebody did want to come in there and build a house or build a business or something up there, it's big enough that you could access it. You know, we do know there's rocks in there, but you know, sometimes when there's a wood, there's a way. So food for thought, but Frank asked me to print it off. That's three tax maps I'll take together and then put together for you, but it kind of shows the whole property anyway.
I thought you were gonna say 3 trees.
Yeah, 3 trees for it. Right.
Did you draw this? Main Street?
I did draw it in on one of them. Yeah, thanks, briefly into it. But
I'd like you gentlemen, to have this information to consider and then how many dollars did we generate from selling those lots that we did sell? To put money back in the pocket.
13, 12, and 14. Close to 60,000.
And put it on the tax roll. And that's my thought on this and the motivation on this. I would like you to review it. Comments, questions?
well, the other thing you gotta remember as well, as you generated $60,000, but you also generated the potential. There are a lot more in tax dollars as
Exactly.
these have been built out on now, so.
Thank you.
Some of our constituents- So,
Okay. Thank you on that. We have a lease service agreement for dog pound service update. In the packet.
There's nothing in, Frank, did you speak to him about that? From the last meeting?
No, I thought we were just going to go forward with
You
it.
were gonna take it to Andy.
Nope. No. How long can we let this ride?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna do it till I'm not.
Yeah.
But you don't know, it was wide open.
All right, I will address that to know, like, that's number of things that I'm looking at, and let's slide through the grant. The predecessor. All right, with that, we will move into new business. Item number 1 is addressed. The second item is in regard to a light on the corner of Morris and Main Street. You reviewed that. Would you like to address that?
I don't know if it's dark there, I don't know if it's.
Yeah, and I believe if there's a and one of the things we have learned when we went to this.
Well, there's one in the corner, like when you go around the corner, and then there's that one there, and there's different one, and there's another. So I don't know.
That is, and that's the only intersection that we have in town too, so that concerns me. We're always supposed to be concerned about the safety and welfare of our constituents. But I bring it to you.
Who brought it up?
Does it matter?
Yeah. Well, no, it was brought up by a concerned citizen.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I would say put light there, but we gotta do the ones on Bay Street, plus, I don't know, I didn't get a chance to talk to you. You think you wanna go in that corner? On the opposite side of your building? I think I kind of picture it being right on the point when you come around that corner, one right in front of your building and one. Oh, you
mean
mean that one? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I talked to the planner when he was there. Discussed that, at least two.
Yeah, I think that would help that corner a lot.
And that would, you want that when it's complete, when the construction is complete, correct?
They can put the street.
They do it
lights up.
anytime?
Yeah, they can.
All right.
I know we had a few months back, we had talked about putting some around Bay Street. And
Yes,
I
that's,
don't know where that ever,
I don't think one item,
we discussed it, but.
but maybe do it all one entry.
Right, yeah, do it with one entry and then.
I have the numbers, I'll give you, for the Bay Street.
Okay.
I just need the numbers off the pole.
and then you and I can get together and make the contact. So sounds like I have the blessing, we can move on this. All right, St. Lawrence County Hold Harmless Resolution number 1, 2024.
Again, I don't think that's controversial, like you gave to move the resolution.
Second. The motion has been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
David,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
Sean.
Aye.
Chris
Aye.
and Frank.
Aye. The motion carries. Maturity notice for certificate of deposit. We talked about that in the report, yes. Other than that, we will go to other business.
I have nothing under new business.
Okay,
I don't know if Bridget from the library had contacted you. Right before the holidays, they had somehow, some way, somebody broke into the library, stole the SIM card out of the phone. So I think they took the SIM card out. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's the only thing they could come up with. I thought she was actually gonna be here at one of the meetings. They would like cameras at the library for security purposes. I said I would present it if she wasn't here. She wasn't here.
she hadn't shared that with me, but she told me about this, about the card, and she said
And I don't understand
about doing something with.
why somebody would come in and take the SIM card, like, it's no value to anyone, like, besides the library. Like, I don't understand.
Because
There was no door damage, there was no nothing, so I don't know.
yeah, her conversation with me was about putting a more secure lock on the door coming into the new wing. So this was new to me about the security.
Yeah,
Okay, so, we have that. What is discussion? Discussion?
It sounds to me as if there's not clarity on what Bridget might really be asking for, whether it's cameras or lock.
We'll wait.
And perhaps.
I
if
just
we
was-
could-
okay, relating. We've never had trouble there before, I mean, things have changed over the last few years of stuff.
We support
So-
good blocks.
So in my understanding from the board that you either want to table this and have her come and give an explanation or request, or do you want to deny that request?
Some new locks and.
You said the last, every bad.
First time I heard about the lock being bad, so,
Yeah, I think. We'll get better.
Let's get a better explanation. Okay. So,
yeah, the first time I heard that the lock was bad.
well, she said that they Jimmy did to get in the back door. She could tell that.
Oh, gee.
Okay. Can you say the SIMS card?
I know, that's what I don't, you know, like, it's,
Something doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Something in a bad picture, didn't
Are we done with new business or are we still?
We're going on other business, which quite a bit of it is new business.
Okay, because I'd like to speak about our players when you're elected.
You can have, we can be flexible, go ahead.
Okay, the one thing down at the boat launch, there's electrical panel there. When we plugged in our Christmas lights and the breakers and everything, there's no real lock on there. There should be a hasp or something.
It usually came through. It's usually screwed shut, if it wasn't.
No, it was locked. And then the other thing is the light up on that pole doesn't work. So I was wondering, as long as you're doing lights, is that something that could be
Well,
involved?
National Grid, so that's not their light. It's hooked directly to their thing, but they said it's not their light. Well, it's like the light over the boat launch, over the Black Lake boat launch.
Mhm.
Nobody knows who pays for it, National Grid says it's not theirs, the town not on their inventory.
Well, I guess
So I can't get National Grid to fix it. I did hear about, you know, getting it, if the town wants to put a new light up there, then we'll.
Well, I think it should be looked into the rest of this because summer's coming and of course, you know, we do have problems down there with kids once in a while. It seems to be better now. The other thing that, I was on my way to Governor the other day. Have you seen the new sign they have at the town barn? Isn't that nice? I
Oh,
think-
the digital one?
Yeah, well, if you stop it, you have to stop and read it all.
Yeah.
And, it is quite a sign. They have the
Town
weather,
of Palm.
they have the meetings, they have everything that's right by the town barn.
I don't think we can put one of them in our town, I think we have a sign law. Right?
Well, if the town belongs to the sign belongs to
I
the,
remember before, there's been some sign issues in this town and village, so.
well, I think it's time we go over that top, because I think there's a lot of good things that are happening in the town. They should be able to see.
Where will we put it?
Well, that's something that should be decided, but we could look at the different spots, but that's some of the things that, I'll tell you what, that sign, if you get a chance, you're going that way, pull in there, read it all the time. It's really, and then I heard how much it was, and I'm not gonna tell you, but.
Probably 25 to 30.
Hmm?
25 to 30.
They're expensive.
Yeah, but and somebody.
Well, you can advertise on it.
Yeah, but you're right on that, but then we were looking at one. Jill was looking at one on the internet and they're like $3,000-4,000.
Yeah, we kind of bought one and the pixels aren't very good. It's hard to, it's not
Is
clear.
that the one you have at the fire hall?
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
I'll tell you
all
what,
the
that's
time
better
we-
than nothing.
yeah, all the time we put on it.
Well, this is true,
Yeah,
but I mean, that one there was,
yeah.
I don't know where, and actually the gentleman stopped and says, what are you up to? I said, I'm looking at your new sign. He says, you know, I hate to tell you how much that was. Yeah, I mean, you're in the ballpark. And then the other thing I had was, Tioga County, that's where I originally was from down there. They bought a garage and they have a bus wash. And what's a new truck cost today for the town? By the time you get the blades and the plows and everything.
They're like 248 something.
Okay, and what they're saying, the county down there bought this building, they're putting in a bus wash. And they're gonna figure they get another 10 years out of a truck if you can run it through and wash the truck, if you get the salt off it. So I'm just saying, I mean, you know, how much it would cost to put in a wash to do that. But in turn, if you get another 10 years out of the vehicle, because you wash the salt off when you're done, it's just something to think about.
I was trying to remember what Jay said about the ambulance and the salt situation.
Same thing.
But I
They're not
thought-
getting the life out of them because they don't make the frames and everything like they used to. It might be something that could also be used for the ambulances. I mean, if you get another 10 years out of a vehicle, it wouldn't take long to pay for some kind of a wash. If you only ran them through once a week. In the winter time, you had an underneath wash to come up underneath like.
There's no school over the project. It's over one for us.
Well, there you go. Maybe it'd be something that
Yeah.
the whole town could get involved.
We actually built one at the fire department, like usually once a month and it's warm out, we do our work details, and one of our firemen actually built it, so I think a 2-inch pipe.
Mhm.
Went through, drilled a bunch of holes, like T on the end, and it does work.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, maybe even if that's all we got over there at the town barn, you ran the trucks over it. It was outside, I mean, let's see how much we can get out of the life of a vehicle. There's the salt, I mean, your own automobiles, how long do you get out of them before then?
Right,
Just don't
that's.
drive in my Gary.
So I guess I said enough tonight, so I'll be still.
That's not, that we have to take on your plate. Okay, under other business, resolution number 2 for 2024, the polling hours for the water district vote. District 2 vote. We need to establish it. Again, for the fishing business.
That, you give the vote date February 6th.
That's what was publicized when we talked about before, it's Tuesday, February 6th, but you have, you've been working on.
Yeah, we gotta decide on the time, right?
That was the hour was a big thing.
A normal,
3 hours, like 6 to 9, is that usually?
at least 6 consecutive hours.
6 hours. I would say 3 to 9 then, 3 to 9. Either way, it's gonna get the people at the end versus.
With all due respect, we've got, people older than me that don't wanna be out later. I would think like noon at 6.
People
But
going
that's
from work
just
by
me.
then.
It's me. It's
Well,
not dark
what-
out at noon.
Why don't we do 1 to 7?
Just to make sure people get home at night. On the side.
That should address the older people in the morning and still be able to.
Well, look who you're talking about, and those people that are there, the majority of them are,
Are not workers.
they're my age or older, so they would probably be retired.
You're young.
You also have, let's see.
Yeah, so absentee ballot,
Okay, thank you. So
at Parkway, you got Dollar General, but you've got Ned Evans is self-employed. You've got some elderly folks.
it should give them a window. I mean, even if we started at 1 and.
Yeah, I just don't think it should go past 7 o'clock.
Right, so why don't we compromise it instead of 12 and 6 to 1 to 7? Is that agreeable with everybody? So
Where's the vote gonna be at?
the location,
I don't know.
You want it here?
I would say here probably.
I think so, it's on the level,
Yep.
this is the place to have it.
Because I'm gonna publicize this to that email distribution, but
Could you wait until we get it in the
I
paper, please?
absolutely will.
Okay, because it does have to be public.
You've got my number, you can drop me,
Okay.
email me.
Thank
And as
you.
promised, we are going from door to door, as we said we would.
I haven't heard any complaints from that group. No, I will not publicize. it.
Okay, yeah, because it has to be publicized in an order,
I promise,
right?
okay, I'm gonna be here.
So 2-6. From 2 to 7.
1 to
1 to
7.
7,
1 to 7.
February 6th. From 1 to 7 at 402 Governor Street.
Do we need to put that in a motion?
Yeah, you have to accept this resolution that came from Andy's office.
With this addition.
Yeah, and you would notice everything that's in from number 3 through, well, the end of 3. Everything that's in bold is the advertisement that will go in the paper.
I'll make the motion.
No, second.
Roll call, please.
David, Gary,
Aye.
Sean, Chris,
Yes.
Frank.
Aye. The motion carries. With that, we do have some we do have some other items to address. Two have to do with, retirements. Judy is informed us that she is going to. I don't know that you, let you give your word and how this.
What are you doing, Judy? I think I'm old enough, I should be quiet. So I'm buying a place in Florida and I'd like to go for the winter, so I'm ready to retire. So I think we should advertise for a replacement, so I can train somebody. And free to go.
And Judy and Carol are gonna put together, the job description. So that we can get that out. Judy said if things do not come together as quickly as she would like, that she would not leave us in the lurch.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not.
What's your timeframe? Next
Probably,
one?
I wouldn't move down before October, but
Oh,
I
okay,
would
okay.
some free time.
Not like next month, not like next month.
I ended up, your mother found it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mom
we
and
need to
I-
talk to your mother about.
It's your mother's fault.
That's all right, I told you to get to have a.
I think it's time. I'm 81 and if I don't go pretty soon, might
No.
not make it.
Go for it, Judy, should we be preparing for you? For instance, if we got things settled in 2 or 3 months. Do you want to be done that quickly?
No, not necessarily. I just been working through the, like, July, August.
I'm gonna, so in Washington, the guy I work with, his wife just retired as town clerk. She's staying on for 3 months. They're paying 2 of them for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then, which Judy will be gone, but then she's staying up for diem after if needed, but. So I think we should actually double up. I mean, there's no way.
Well, we're gonna do that. There is gonna be.
Right.
Because I think the training, if Judy could be there while the new
Yeah,
person.
sure.
That's what I thought.
Really good.
Be there with somebody to train. And I wondered, I wouldn't mind doing consulting like online with the
Yeah.
person,
That's
like
all.
remote help.
And that could be per diem.
Yeah,
When,
$100 an hour.
Sorry, gotta raise your taxes and forget.
once these plans get into place, Jim, then. We'll need to modify the budget line for
Yeah.
salary, but we'll have the capacity to do that. There is enough. Elbow room in there to allow that to happen.
Carol plans to go this year too.
That's right.
Yes.
Which is great. I might be great though.
In fact, in your packet, you have a letter from Carol. Yeah.
Well, Judy, I know that everybody else feels same, and you've done a great job.
Well, thank you.
That's
I'm enjoying my job. I like it. Thank you.
I think a lot of service that you did there.
How many years have you been with us now, Judy? Time flies.
I'm in my 18th year.
Wow.
I only came part-time. I've been working for 62 years.
Time for a rest,
Yeah.
enjoy some sun.
We'll miss you, but you deserve
I'll
it.
be back.
Oh, I know, and we're gonna come visit too.
That's right. Definitely better.
So does this have extra bedrooms?
It's got 3 bedrooms.
Oh,
3
okay,
bathrooms.
we're all set.
So I'm open for company.
That's somewhere near Crystal River.
That's north, right?
I don't know where.
It's in Hudson.
Okay, you're in Hudson. That's where Jan and Charlie go are
Oh, goody.
Oh, Catherine.
at. You go down there and play pickleball.
Oh, I can't run that fast.
Okay, with that, Chris, why don't you give us the information that that we're on the grant, that, oh no, I can't, as well. We had, it's in there. So we talked with second.
Rose, family fund or something like that.
We have, you recall, we talked about a grant for a study in
Yeah,
restoration and care. of the-
39,000, and the grant was for 29 and change.
What they're granting us is 10,000. Okay, so we are going to be looking at alternative on the other end of things. But we do have that grant, just that's the information tonight, then we'll work on the other end where how we can take that down and still accomplish what we need to accomplish. On that report. It's no longer with us. It's the Northern New York Community Foundation. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone. With that, we'll go to department reports.
Well, while you're there, you need to do the justice
Oh.
justice letter.
Let's see.
First day.
It was right after the resolution number.
That's one it is.
Got it?
Wow. This is regarding the audit, which Chris and I took on last year, and we will take it upon ourselves to do this again this year. All right. Now with that, we will go to the department reports.
Okay, so Deb Pinger and I have been working on the Civic Ready implementation for the get that up and running. It's pretty intense. We're at the part where we're inputting internal contacts. So eventually we might just send you a text. It might just be a test run to see. We have it broken out to like internal, we have staff, board members, planning, zoning, different components of it. So that's where we are right now. Once we get that done, we will have another meeting. We had the meeting with them on Thursday. We have another one this Thursday. It's like every week we'll have an update and another step will be done. So we're working closer to being.
So obviously you don't have everybody's phone number. Go ahead.
No.
Input them to you. Just send them to you.
Once we get how to input everything for ourselves, then we will advertise it in the newspaper. We'll put it on the website. We'll put a notice up here at the town board, everywhere where the public is noted. What they do is they get on and they input their own information and it goes directly onto the system. On there, it'll ask like where you want, what you want to be alerted. Do you want to be alerted when there's water and sewer problems? Do you want to be alerted if there's a road closure, or do you want to be alerted to everything?
Oh, okay.
So there's different options. So that's where we are with that.
Right. Anything else?
Just been busy.
That's a lot.
Sounds like progress.
Yeah.
Dean, you have the floor.
Well, everything's been going good. Winter finally came on us all a couple days here, but trucks have been holding up well. We've been out plowing and sanding. I'm still, I'm sure most of you know, Wayne Moakman is still off sick. It's probably looking like another month that he'll be off. So
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's just.
so he got a bad infection in mid-December. Put him in the hospital for almost 7 days. Really close to the end of life infection. They ended up taking quite a large part out of his stomach. He's been on a wound vac since then, which basically sucks the stuff out. He's still on that. They basically, the hole was basically the size of a 2x4 out his stomach. He was went to the doctors that night to an urgent care, felt that he had the flu or something. Just his legs hurt, his body hurt, and they knew instantly by some blood work that there was something. So he's still off. So I've been in a truck. You good?
I wanted to bring up the pictures that I took of Barn up
Oh.
there.
So yeah, on that side is good, the barn is coming together well, all the large steel is up, they have 2 walls completely sided now. They're working on across the front. Hopefully, they're gonna wait till Monday to start the roofing, because once that's a process, they put the insulation on the roof and insulate roof, and you can't have a lot open. So they're hoping the weather calms down a little bit so it doesn't get wet as they do it. Other than that, I believe everything is running well. I do have a question. I know it's not really my business, but it got out into the public that, some people in the office, as far as part-timers, are getting paid more than what my part-timer is. I have a good part-timer, he makes 21 an hour. I heard there was more people at the office that aren't on call, doesn't come in and making more money,
25 an hour.
25. I don't feel that is right.
Not quite sure how that came down, they don't call it.
Right in there, what we just paid for one person to paint the office.
But it's a small town that got out.
That was.
Everybody knows I have Jim Lauer who works for me. You know. No,
I'm sure give them Harry could paint too.
I mean, we did Greg's office, I mean, they did a hell of a job in Greg's office between Christmas and New Year's,
When I heard about that from you, Frank, too, I wasn't on board with, with her painting, when we have other people that could paint.
Well, I reached out to him for other things and the schedule was, it was.
I mean, I know nothing about the painting, I don't.
Right, well, because it's,
I just-
what it could have been asked and taken care of, and I agree, I'd be pissed off too.
I mean. Nobody knows.
Not to mention that, she's got no insurance, she falls and breaks her legs, or breaks her ankle. We're done. There goes there's another comp case.
I'm gonna recommend to give that part timer, because nobody knows the life of a fall guy, to be called all hours of the night. I'm gonna say for what Jim does, I mean, he saved us a ton of money with his carpentry skills. I'm gonna recommend to give him $25 an hour.
Let me ask you what we should do
There's no
about cleaning them, because I suspect.
I've raised that question to you before, this kid, there's no insurance.
The only way to do it would be a town employee, I don't.
How did you address it here when you? had the-
I'm sorry.
How did you address cleaning these facilities?
I don't know, Frank, I can't tell you for sure, I don't wanna say something that's not right.
Because we tried a cleaning service and that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta work directly for the town, I mean, put them on, if they come and work 3 hours, you pay them
Right.
on the town for 3 hours.
You
You know,
give
then they're covered by
a
the
guy
insurance.
100 or 1099 at the end of the year, what are you doing with him?
They will be, yes.
So I mean, maybe that's different, but I just wanted to bring it out there because of.
I agree with you. It's not
You
right.
know, I call him at 4 o'clock in the morning, he's there by 20 after 4. I call him at 7 o'clock at night, he's there by 20 after 7. I mean, he just.
And that messes with his life, you can't do anything, right, being on call. I mean, he's good enough, he's lucky to have him.
Yeah, it is, it's a job, well, lately, it's, he's been there quite a bit, he's doing other stuff for us, but. It needs to be a retired person that, because it's not a full-time spot that, if somebody's trying to draw unemployment, it's just enough hours that messes that up,
Yeah, we're not paying any bad.
When I had Earl Weiss, he was great, he was retired, he worked, if he didn't care,
Dean, if we were to make that change, would that upset the full-time people whose hourly?
So, because it benefits, I mean, and that's I've thrown out there, in just a general conversation, I mean, they have to take that into consideration, that they're getting health insurance, they're getting.
40 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Depending on 45.
You're right, where Jim's not getting nothing besides,
Well, I'd propose that he ought to get at least $1 more than the painter.
The painter that was decided because we looked at, looked at the guy that's cleaning got, so that's why we gave her the same amount.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised he doesn't get paid more because he is a caller.
Yeah.
And I'm sure knowing Jim that if it's bad weather, he doesn't travel too far because of that, because he's waiting.
like I said, it's not, I mean, I know you guys do it, but I just wanted to, I just think. we need
I
to
think
be
that's
fair.
addressed, but let's get back to this. To the person that's cleaning, what do you want me to do there?
I would say put them on. I don't know, I don't think it'd be,
Well, I'm putting it back in your.
right, I don't believe it'd be cheap to hire a cleaning agency to come in,
We tried that.
right,
That was a good, as I said, it was.
I mean, if you're gonna be here working, you pay them the.
But you're not taking you're taking no taxes out of them.
No, it's,
It's basically $25 an hour cash.
yeah,
Do they sign a waiver or anything?
No.
In case there's an
the
injury?
I don't think that would.
No, that worked.
They don't hold up.
Hold up. I would say if they come and clean 3 hours, you pay them on the books for 3 hours period. Then they're on our insurance.
well, they're
Right.
through the,
Right.
Yeah.
Then you're covered,
and he does get a 1099.
but like I said, there's no insurance, I mean. I would say put them on the books.
So he's covered, so he's that, yeah, so which he is, so then he's covered by liability,
Right.
that's what I want to address,
Yeah.
okay?
No, everybody thinks.
It would appear so, yes. Anything more, Dean?
The other thing I had, I mean, I know there was discussion at the last thing about the second loader. I'd like to just hold the spring if we could on the loaders. Only because this loader, the Doosan that's out here is the one I'd want to get rid of. And I just want to make sure that the cat is good, because all of our equipment fits that cat. But the problem, the reason we ended up with this one was it's the only one available at the time, and all of our stuff fits the cat, so. I'd like to wait till spring, and then maybe we can sell them both and buy another new one, and it's under warranty again, or it'll be a year and a half out, we'll see where we are in the spring. I'd just like to do that if we could.
Everyone,
Both of them are paid for, they're not costing us anything besides, I don't know what the insurance would be on.
so we're all in accord on that? Yes.
I'd really like to go with Dean's recommendation on that. When we started this discussion out, I think that it was my understanding that we'd end up with two because it would.
I mean, it's definitely handy, like, to keep this one in here, like the snow removal has been a lot nicer, but. And if one goes down, but. If we wanna go to one, I would recommend that if we can wait till spring, then let's sell them and get one that's fully warranted again, and.
What's the cat you're done?
That is a 17. It's just $2,100.
Here's a good one for that.
We were on that cycle, but then once COVID hit, we lost, and then prices are stupid. Now we were trading for 25,000 there a couple times, and it doesn't happen. Unfortunately,
Nothing more, Dean?
no.
Okay with that, thank you, Dean. Now we move to our code enforcement officer in this weekend.
Well, Dean, touch base, and I'd like to say that his guys did a great job up my office, we all worked together well, I think we saved the town a lot of money. The floor was, as everybody knows, bad. It's all complete, I don't know if Gary's had a chance to see any photos or anything of it, but we finally got rid of the shag 1970
Where'd that go?
carpet.
Where'd it go?
We threw it away.
Down in your house, didn't you see
There were
it?
snakes growing under it.
That was bad.
And, so we re-floor joist and then redecked and. put lantern down.
already told me about it.
Yeah. So it's a good deal, yeah, it went well and big improvement up there for that.
A piece of the.
So I just did a year-end report for you, just bumped everything together, isolated them out. But, I think the permits was a good year. I think we did better than we have since I've started, every year's gone up. So we had, 155 permits, which. Went up, $4.5 million and 17.8 fees, so. That was good. Zoning and planning boards were very active this year. We had a lot of different cases. We had 37 that we heard throughout the year. For all of them, so. It did generate a little bit of revenue, $1,340 on that, but. That'll probably go down quite a bit this year coming up because we took out that requirement. For people having to go in front for subdivisions, and that was, he probably had 10 of those in there. So, Was able to do some fire inspections, those are a challenging, they're challenging, especially over on the lakeside. Trying to schedule and get people, well, getting people to do what they said they're going to do is one thing, but, trying to do it while there's people aren't around. One of the guys was a larger guy, was supposed to come in the fall. He asked if I could hold off in the fall, and I said, sure, and he never did, so. But those are because of the COVID issue and all of that, those have been like behind, and, the new guy's gonna have to catch up on them, no doubt. We're just gonna have to put a schedule out and say, this is it, you gotta show up for this, you can't blow me off because somebody's sick.
Something happened.
There's been a lot of excuses on it, but, I did do 28 of those units and, generated a little bit for the town that way, but there's a lot. Our time frame, so the violations are in there too as well, and I issued last year 36 notices of violation. The short-term rental will be another challenge for 2024. For the new guy, we didn't get a lot of responses from people. I think maybe I have a half a dozen that people actually, I created a form, we put it up on the website. For people to be able to register them, we had that one-time registration thing that was, allowing people to come forth and say they have them. And, we got 6 people that came forward, so I think we all know there's a lot more than that out there. So it'll be interesting, because the way the law says, after that time, if you're discovered, you will have to go through the special permit process and go through the process. Although I must say that the 6 some that I've had, the septic tanks are, it was a good law to put the septic in there, because we found a lot of them that had problems with their septics and, or lack of them completely. That was good, but it's gonna be a challenge for 2024 if we're gonna kind of push that at all.
When are you returning?
Maybe we'll put it on the back burner.
When are you returning?
I'm going to go out in May.
It's like the rats leading the ground ship.
So my question is, how do we proceed? If we gotta do a full service, or what do we do? Or
So right now we're working, I got the civil service, job description, and, Bill and I are gonna post, an ad out there. And see how much interest we can get from folks. There's one person on the civil service list that we can, interview right off to see if that's a candidate or not. If not, then we would be hiring provisionally for the job. And the person would have to, 1, meet qualifications of the civil service, and 2, score within the top 3 to retain the job. So, that's always a bit of a, nervy thing for some folks, but the test is nothing to see that it's a comprehensive test.
so how long process is that once you get it started?
Well, that would be, this board's decision, when you want to try to bring somebody in, I think that overlap is good. I don't think that we need to have months of overlap. But, I definitely would like to show how the thing's operating, and if it is a person who isn't an active code enforcement officer, there's a learning curve there that might be able to help them with a little bit.
4 months left.
Right. So, we can put something out and start asking for it, and ask for a deadline, and establish a deadline tonight if you want.
And he's been working on putting together a description for us.
I
I probably have it.
put the minimum deadline, what's legal, I mean, I don't know. Legally,
Ask for the potential.
when are you gonna put it out? Like,
Pretty legit. at least a 10-day notice.
Oh, you're doing it.
I got basically everything I need, just need to put some verbiage together and then put it in the, they put it on our website. And then, run it in the paper and I was telling Frank today, I see the scene is looking for a part-time code guy too.
What's the salary gonna be?
We put 55,000 in the budget.
Yeah.
Why don't we need to post a salary, some information, don't we?
And, yeah, you could put dependent on experience as well, but
Why don't we put in some kind of a range,
Yeah.
like 70 to 75 or something like that?
When can I take the test?
Come on, some good items up there and everybody else thinking about that.
That's amazing.
So you know, hey, oh, yeah.
How about something like 35 to
55.
depending on qualifications?
And would you be in the interview process?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Well, yes.
35 to 55.
Do you wanna put in there like the range, or do you just wanna put in the posting, like call for additional information and just have like a sheet of qualification, or the job description,
I personally don't want to put the thing
yeah.
till we get them, sort of like getting the fish. near
that's
the-
how I've always done it.
Yeah.
In the interview, we talk about the salary,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but so we can ask for all applications to come back in 3 weeks. When do we anticipate a hiring date?
How long, well, I think we need to back off when you're leaving and then we put Chun.
Well, I'm thinking like the middle of May.
I'm gonna say 2 weeks. 2 weeks we plan to get back to it.
Oh, okay, go second.
And then the third week,
No, I mean for anticipated hiring
Fire
date.
day.
And so your overlap,
April.
I mean, are you thinking a month that you wanna overlap?
Sure.
When did you get pretty good for $10 an hour? 25.
She's getting 100, I have to get a little more than that. Okay, so,
Couple weeks. And then, is there an interview committee or is it full board? I can't remember what we did, right?
The always the hard board,
Was it? Okay.
any previous months.
So it would have to be an open meeting when I go to executive session, is that how we did it? Me and personnel issue, can't remember.
Yeah.
For the interview, would
You-
be
just regular interviews.
private, like
Yeah.
executive session.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
so. I remember with my software, we did a lot on the phone, I didn't know how many people were on the phone. I know Sean. Really.
I'm trying to recall before you, I think before you, there was a full board.
So they would interview in front of the executive session.
Okay.
I think we all set up in that room for the interview.
Yeah, we did, that's right. That's where, don't know that. Okay, I'm part of that.
So we would talk about anticipation of April, hiring of for the month of April. Mid-April,
Mid-April.
in 2 weeks.
Just around tax day. 17, tax day. I see a pen for when you got something you want.
No,
Okay.
no.
You're just one of the gang now,
Now I wanna pretty much go home pretty quick.
Frank,
Okay, we've got a pretty good things.
well, yeah, I can just jump in quick. So I just wanna know what the board, or just think about it, because I know we have, potters looking at what our building and hooking up. And I just had another person, top of Columbia by the big manor, they're looking to put a house up there next year. There's water and sewer there, but it's not tapped or the sewer is tapped, so I don't know how you wanna do the costing of tapping the water, are we gonna go with the curb stop and they're responsible in, or the sewer? We have to come up with seems like we're getting a few of them in the districts again that are wanting to build and add new, so I don't know what's past practice was or anything like that. I told them I would talk to you, like I said, they totally understood it might be a month or two before I had an answer, but
Technically, when we have to tap it with a curb stop anyways, that would definitely be ours. I think they usually run the copper in too, because we're hooking.
On a new project, they do, they run the copper in, I just
Yeah,
didn't want to say something and then.
Right.
Back down.
then, yeah, we hooked to the meter and there's after that.
Yep.
Sewer's vacuum.
Sewer will be vacuum over there,
So
I'm thinking down the Potters, I'm gonna try and do a grinder down there.
So going back to the one top of the hill, it's gonna be a pot, and they're gonna have to hook the pot.
Yes, and I don't know, depends where they decide to build, there's actually a pot at the manor, I don't know if we could share the pot maybe, I don't know that
Well,
yet.
that's typically how it was anyways.
Right, yeah, and they could, it just depends where they wanna position their house, if we can get the pitch.
That's a lot, that's
On them, I just didn't wanna give the wrong information, I'll be responding for all of it,
if we put it in the pot, you gotta come to us.
yeah. And then the water, we'll take the water to them,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
been kind of, that's.
okay, I wasn't sure, so I put it that.
If we bring the water to one of the rock.
They're working on
They're
it.
black.
If we're bringing water up to there, it's part of the deal, I mean, you lose it. So, yeah, I have to.
Do you limit how far you run the water? Is it in a policy?
Good, because we don't want to also be able to beat that. Right.
I don't, that's why I say I don't know. I kind of
I
went
think
through
we
the
should
water.
limit to like,
The water.
a roll of copper's what, 60 bucks?
Yeah.
60 foot, no,
Well, any more than just plastic.
Yeah, I was out of the plastic.
Yeah. Then we're all the new installs been plastic.
Yeah, but they were still-
Yep, yeah. That's what we did here, even.
Yeah. Plastic is a big deal, it's just getting it down.
It's the rock, right? I mean, if any projects here, unfortunately, it's the rock, right? Just,
Spray foam.
yeah.
You can get down a little bit, you spray foam it.
And I'm sure the way you talk, they're gonna have somebody in there pounding or blasting for a basement. So
There's enough room to build a house there.
we bought like an acre or something, I think.
Yeah, but we're talking about.
Right there, you got the big manor on Columbia, and then coming back this way towards the guardrails.
oh, so it's sold, I think.
Oh, yeah, well, he's not talking, he's up in the air about what he's building there.
Oh, when I met with the mother and them the other day, I thought they were gonna go in the spring.
Didn't sound like it.
Well, either way, we need to know what,
We need to make.
we need to make a policy, because I know Potter's gonna go in the spring. We have to get there, I talked to Frank, I talked to her about it. They wanna put the driveway in, but somehow the way the survey marks are, is our stuff is on her property, so. Like when the townhouse put it in, the underground electric and all that stuff is on her property, like we only own just off that building a little bit. And that's kind of where she wanted to put the driveway, but we have underground power there, so I said we have to. Just have an easement agreement or something there. And you have to draw.
Why don't you just stop at the property line and let the people take care of what's left? I never. We did it in Augsburg, we brought the water and the sewer to the property line, and then. The homeowner was, or the developer, or whatever it was responsible for. Running down to it and connecting onto it, but I mean, what are you gonna do if you get, a bigger business coming in, and you're gonna run like a,
Plus, I don't know, I don't know.
I mean, you could be.
Property line,
expensive.
good. Property line. is good.
Yeah, we just have to put the curb stop, and that's it. We'll just have to go to the curb
Essentially,
stop.
whatever,
Yeah,
and let them run it themselves.
just like going to the pot.
Right.
Go to the pot, and then you guys are responsible for it.
Yeah.
Might make it a lot easier.
We don't run into this mess.
Cause it seems like,
Down the road.
it seems like to the bird, like I want to Champlain from work, I mean, they had the copper sticking out of ground in the city one end and just put the curb stop in.
Oh, yeah, we never, even if they had to torpedo the cross or whatever, but the streets, but we never,
So what, how do we want to handle this so we have it ain't? This policy.
I think you stop at the curb stop and.
New development
Yeah.
But,
oh geez, that's.
I
So
get
we're
that.
putting a pot in.
But do we need
You
it?
have to put a pot in, they still come to us to the pot.
What did they do at What Bertrand do for visit? They bought the pot?
They bought it and paid to have it installed because that was after the project. All we did was just.
There's a glass all in there, or
Yeah,
glass or.
Or we don't do it?
so they installed all that, yes.
But we need this in.
Yeah, just think about it, like I said, I
We need
don't
it
think,
made someplace so that we can refer to it.
yeah.
It
Yes.
seems like there's so many variables that.
And it could
come into play,
Yeah.
like you say, you get into the chip and rock. That can get.
Unless it's a new install.
Is this something that I need a lawyer to put some language together?
I think you should police first and let him put the legal
Yeah.
language to it. I think afterwards, I think they're gonna
Okay.
to give them. But. And I'll try and look around, see what other towns do in the meantime, but
You wanna bring that back?
yeah, I'll try and bring some information.
Okay. Okay, everyone should have had this invitation in the packet for the fire department and auxiliary has invited everyone to all these the board members to the annual banquet. It's in your packet. I wanted to point that out to you.
Please let me know if you wanna attend. They are asking for a head count. 2, okay.
Your historian report from Joanne is in your packet. I cannot tell you how pleased I am that we have her on board. There's nothing but positive things from the work.
What it is to have up there.
And with that, I've received a couple, there should be a copy in your.
Yeah.
In each board members of the email that's come from Ms. Valencourt. Regarding.
Who's the town worker?
Oh, I don't know,
There was, no, she apologizes. And said, no, it wasn't town, apology. But she's still bringing back, well, what about that son? And I haven't heard back from her. So I wanna know what the board wants to do.
They put up a private drive sign or something.
Yeah, right.
It's a dead end street, so like this is just a revolving thing all the time. It's a dead end street, we have to plow to the dead end. His truck sits here, so yes, we plow across the front of his truck because he just parks off the street.
We're not talking about the snow, she's talking about.
Oh, that's what John just said, because I was.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what
plowing,
it was, it said a town truck was plowing
No, and then she came.
it. She rebutted on that, and then it went to the sign.
But wants an answer and it's,
Right.
Is it his driveway?
no, I think it's is it in the right of way out front? I don't want to drive down, I don't like to do.
Go ahead, we do, it's dead end.
Yeah, right.
No, you're talking about down at the end of Governor Street.
Yeah,
no, I know.
Right.
Down looking at George.
I call it Lower Governor Street.
Yeah.
Sounds like the same thing we have at the end of English Settlement Road there, everyone.
Oh, no, but we like each other down there.
Not us, I'm talking about some other one.
But I want the board, this is not my decision to make, it's the board's decision to reply to this. So I want what you reply.
Private drive in front of my house.
And you'll put a sign there?
Yes,
As I understand it, it's public property. And the first come first. Did anything change about property in front of my house? while
It's not his property, why did you put in a private drive on this? He said, no, the signs should come down.
Greg, you gotta take care of that, right?
here's my thinking, when she was trying to utilize that out there and had those tires and all those flowers and stuff, we made her pull the line on that and remove it. So I would say that the more I've looked at this, the more I think that sign needs to come down.
That's why you get things like.
Doesn't the town,
I go to
25 feet from the center on both?
Really, and that's why she had to remove this stuff when she was the place so no one else could park it there.
Big ass motor.
Now she's saying he has a sign. If it's public property, how can he have that private?
Just give me the sign.
It's
Wow.
just,
No, we're in
I'm
better
gonna
shape.
send a letter and notice that.
Don't do it tonight. What do you think?
Well,
I'm gonna go get her done.
Is that the course of action? Is that the course of action you want me? Is you want me to sign? Take, send him a letter?
Yeah,
Take to remove it?
Yes.
Okay.
So how his problem, Julian?
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus, how much simple could that be?
I just don't even answer the phone anymore when either one of them call. because
Right.
It's just, no, it's all petty stuff.
Well, she sent this email and I told her this is a legal issue and you as neighbors need to work it out with a lawyer if you can't get along.
There you go.
That was my response to her.
When it comes to spending money though, that's. a whole different thing.
Yeah. Cause I don't know how to deal with that.
I propose to go into executive session and in regards to employment of a particular.
I'm gonna follow that.
He's got.